ॐ मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे यन्नित्यमानन्दमनन्तमेकं शिवेति नाम्ना श्रुतयो गृह्णन्ति तस्यावतारो नररूपधारी कृपासुदाब्धि भुवि रामकृष्णः जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। रामाय रामचन्द्राय रामभद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। यस्यात्मभूतस्य गुरोः प्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात् सर्वोपदेष्टुः पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्याङ्घ्रियुग्मं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। Bhagavan Rama has established that Satyavan eva jayati through a long debate, through various examples, logics and scriptural revelations. Having established, Bhagavan Rama concluded that a man of truth alone is successful, was successful and will be successful. Pratyaksha is pramanam, Anumanam is pramanam, Shastram is pramanam. A man of truth alone is successful in his personal life in the form of a life with self-dignity and honor, a life without hurting others, a life which can be a model to others, and a life with freedom from guilt and conflicts. And a life with social honor is the success, sign of success in the social context, and in the scriptural or religious context, the life which can lead towards the higher goals, towards the higher regions. After establishing, Bhagavan Rama wonders how Jabali Rishi can be as a minister in my father's court. How my father can keep a Nastika in his court as his minister. When Ramji admonished indirectly, when he admonished Jabali Rishi by asking question, how can my father keep you in his ministry? Now Jabali Rishi with all smile, he says, well done my dear Rama, Sabash, you are really grand. I am scolding you, you are telling that I am grand. Then Jabali Rishi says, so far I have tested you and you passed the test, and other than you, nobody can win me in the arguments, because such a strong argument I have put, but now I understood even me cannot confuse you, none can confuse you. You have passed in the exam in a grand manner. न नास्तिकानां वचनं ब्रवीम्यहं न नास्तिकोऽहं न च नास्ति किञ्चन समीक्ष्य कालं पुनरास्तिको भवं भवेयकाले पुनरेव नास्तिकः स चापि कालोऽयम् उपागतः शनैः यथा मया नास्तिकवाग् उदीरिता निवर्धनार्थं तव रामकारणात् prasadanartham cha mayaitat iritam. Jabali Rishi says, Rama, I am not a Nastika. Na Nastikaha aham. Na nastikanam vachanam bravimi. Nor I advocate nastikavada. Then why you asked me to give up Satya? Why you asked me to follow the Asatya Marga? Why you asked me to come back to Ayodhya? Why you asked me to give up all these promises? Jabali Rishi says, what to do, my dear Rama? Seeing you suffering, in order to remove your suffering, in order to keep you as a comfortable person with all comforts in life, I prefer to be a Nastika. Somehow or the other I want to bring back you. Others tried, people cried and tried, Bharata cried and tried, nothing worked. You are so stubborn. I thought, let me confuse my Rama. If he passes in that confusion, he is certainly grand. If he fails in that confusion, at least his life will be a comfortable one. Tava prasadanartham nivartanartham karanat maya udiritam. Just to make you as a comfortable person, and tava nivartanartham, just to bring you back to Ayodhya. And I found, my dear Rama, you are so grand. See, here you see, such a grand Rishi puts down his status. What is his status? Minister, and that too a grand minister next to Vasishta. Such a person, out of attachment or love, whatever way you can say, he wants to put down himself in order to bring out the grandness of Ramji. This is the way generally grand people behave. In order to bring out grandness of Sita, Ramji puts himself down in the way of scolding Sita. And in order to bring out Ambarisha's grandness, Durvasa Rishi puts himself down. As though he was an ignorant person, he was running out of fear of death and going to Shivaloka, this loka, that loka, then finally comes back and falls at the feet of Ambarisha. Then finally he says what to do, how to show to the world that my Ambarisha is so grand. How to show to this world that my Rama is so grand. How to show to the world my Sita is so grand. That is the grandness of great people. My Rama, I want to put down myself so that you can shine in this society. People can know how grand your understanding, how clear your understanding is. When Japali Rishi said like this, immediately Vasishta also says, Jabali has done this out of love. I also wanted to do the same thing. What is that? I want to become a Nastika. For what? To bring you back to Ayodhya, to keep you as a comfortable person. When both of them declared, Ramji was a little bit shy, because Ramji really thought Jabali has become Nastika. Because arguments were so strong. 8 hours classes it has taken to refute that argument. 8 hours. So strong logic it is. Other than Rama, anybody would have been failed. Alright, you elders are all telling, alright, let me go back to Ayodhya, they could have told. But Ramji was so grand. Not only he was clear in his understanding, he made others also very clear. Now the question comes, what is the knowledge behind this clarity? There is a clarity. What is that clarity? That for the sake of truth, a person can give up everything including his life. This is the understanding. This is the clarity. What is the knowledge behind this? What is the cause for this clarity? There must be some understanding which would have made him to go to this extent. What is general opinion, general perception? For the sake of one small laddu, I can tell lie. For the sake of 100 rupees, I can tell lie. For the sake of getting one cinema ticket, I can tell lie. For the sake of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, pleasure, I can tell lie. That is the society's condition. Here is a person in the form of Rama. He says, for the sake of one truth, for the sake of protecting one word, one promise, I can give up entire life. So what may be the understanding behind this clarity of thinking? If you study Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, the answer comes. See, whenever you get a question in any scripture, you have to go back to the same scripture and ask this question again. That same scripture clarifies it. So what is our question? What made Rama to be so much clear with regard to the validity of Satyam? No wavering at all, no shaking at all. Even when his own teachers have tried to shake him, he was not at all shaken. What may be the reason? Ramji says here, the simple reason for adhering to Satya is, Satyam is Sanatanam, human life is very, very futile. For the sake of eternal truth, one can and one should give up his small life. That is the clarity. What is the clarity? Satya is so grand, the value called Satya is going to accompany the individual birth after birth, life after life. For protecting that wealth, that Satya, one can give up one small physical life. Only one Janma. Okay, if I am going to die, I know that I am not going to die. Only body is going to be destroyed. I know that however much I tell lie and try to protect this body, I am not going to be successful in protecting my body. Any of this body is going to go away. Let me give up this body for the higher purpose. Here, it comes in the form of a dialogue between Bharata and Rama. Sarve kshayanta nichayaha padananta samuchrayaha sanyoga viprayoganta maranantam tu jivitam. 4 statements, beautiful statements. Ramji says, life is nothing but these 4 items. What are they? Accumulation. Second one is growth. Third one is relationship. Relating with others. Death is the 4th. Here Ramji says, Sarve kshayanta. Death means what? Not physical death only. Not physical death only. Death means what? Opposite to the accumulation. When you accumulate something, it is called birth. When that same thing which was accumulated by you goes away, it is called death. Here Ramji says, Sarve kshayanta nichayaha. Whatever you earn in your life, all accumulations come to an end by depletion, by expenditure. If you have a column called income, you have to have a column called expenditure. So all accumulations ends with expenditure, with depletion. Padananta samuchrayaha. Anywhere you go above, any height you go, you climb, whether it is corporate ladder or your house ladder or apartment ladder. Ladder means what? Steps. Anywhere you go above, you have to come back. You have to come back. Even you go to heavens, Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti, you have to come back, because the going up is not your swasthana. Your swasthana is yourself. You have to come back to yourself. Padananta samuchrayaha. Sanyoga viprayoganta. All gatherings, all meetings ends with separation. What a fact it is. Any gathering, whether it is birthday gathering or death day gathering or party, any gathering ends with what? Separation. Maranantam tu jivitam. Life is up to death only. Life certainly ends with a death. No person in the creation so far and will be in future can say that I will not die with a physical body. Keeping myself with one particular physical body, I will not die. That's why all Rakshasas, when they do tapas, and when Brahmaji comes, Bhakta, what do you want? He will ask, I want immortality. Immortality I want. Out of syllabus, anything you ask. Immortality cannot be given. If it is given, it cannot be immortality. Immortality means what? Deathlessness. So deathlessness means what? Going beyond past, present and future. Going beyond past and present and future means what? It is available now and here. So nobody can give that. No, it cannot be given at all. It is your own property. So it's out of syllabus. You ask some other question. And another meaning is, when a Rakshasa asks, I want to live eternally, how you wants to live eternally? With particular individuality, with particular body. That also out of question. No person can protect his particular body and particular individuality for eternity. Even Bhagavan cannot do. So Brahmaji says, out of question. Out of syllabus. You ask. So this fellow is not able to understand that reality. So what he says, I should not die by this weapon, I should not die inside, I should not die outside, I should not die morning, I should not die night, like that. So he goes on, adds one more class, and finally Bhagavan sees one loophole is there or not. Okay, one loophole is there, tathastu. Immediately it disappears. You know, because this fellow may add one more class also. Morning, night only I told, evening I forgotten, I should not die evening also, like that he may add one vara. So immediately Brahmaji disappears. So everybody wants to be eternal, but they don't know that eternity is impossible thing with a particular limited body. Maranantam tu jivitam. These are all facts. What are all facts? Every accumulation ends with spending. One fact. Another fact, every growth ends with coming back to the normal position. Even you see, small seed, it grows and grows and grows and grows, becomes a huge tree. Finally, how it comes back? It comes back to again seed form. Every gathering ends with separation. Every life ends with death. So, what Ramji want to say? Ramji want to say, understand these four facts and your life will be with Dharma. If you know that you have come to a place with a particular purpose. If you know that it is a simple hotel. If you know that it is not your own place, then how you will behave? You will not waste your time. Suppose you go to a place and book a room in hotel. Okay. In that hotel, somewhere else the tiles they have pasted in a wrong way. Wrong way means what? In a it's not orderly. So will you bother about it? Will you bother? Sir, tiles design this is not proper tile design, sir. Sir, this room vastu is not good if you stay. If you tell to a hotel manager, what he will tell? Hotel manager, hey, one day only you book the room. Within one day you want to correct the entire hotel. One day only, somehow adjust and go. But if it is your own house, what you will do? Vastu is not good means what you will do? You will demolish, correct? So once you understand that the stay is with a small period, once you understand, you will not spend time in unwanted things. That's what Ramji says. Life is short, live with a purpose. This is the Ramji's argument. Life is short, live with a purpose. Vedanta says, life is short, become immortal by knowing your reality. Materialistic philosophers say, life is short, enjoy. All the three say same thing. Okay? First statement is same. Life is short. Life is short. Therefore, please enjoy. 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 Life is short, enjoy. Ramji says, life is short, therefore lead a careful life. Do proper things. Vedanta says, life is short, at least in this short period, try to find out the reality. Otherwise, one more round you have to come. One more body, one more birth, one more death. In between birth and death, one more primary school education, one more degree, one more useless job, one more employer, one more employee, one more marriage, one more children. Goes on. Vedanta says, life is short, find out the reality. Ramji says, life is short, lead a dharmic life. General mind says, life is short, therefore enjoy. So now, every individual has to take decision for what purpose I should live. We also know. We also know. That's why when somebody says, hey, Bhagavan is eternal, you come back to Bhagavan. When somebody says, when sadhu says, generally people say, Bhagavan is eternal, Swami. He will never go anywhere. But my problem is a water problem. That is Anitya only. So I should attend first. My bhoga is Anitya only. My bhoga is Anitya only. This is another logic, worldly logic it is called. Bhoga is Anitya, I accept, Swami. That is why I go for it. That is why I go for it. One of the sadhu in our order used to say, those people who go behind the pleasures, sense pleasures, are great renunciates, he used to tell. When we were in training center, we were wondering how it is. We are all brahmacharis, and how, Swamiji, you are telling? We thought those who are going to become sannyasins are great renunciates, we were thinking, and our renunciation is greater than others like that we are thinking, but you are praising grihasthas. How married people, who go for pleasures are greater renunciates, how can you say? When we asked, that elderly Swamiji told, see, we sadhus have given up small thing for the sake of big thing. For the sake of eternal Bhagavan, sadhus have given up temporary things, small things. Whether you give it up or not, it is going to go away. You are intelligent enough to see, anyhow it is going to go away, let me give up. And you silently came back to Lord. See the grandness of people. Which people? People who go behind the pleasure, see their grandness. They have given up the eternity. They have given up eternal Lord for the sake of small thing. So whose renunciation is grand, you tell? 10 rupees renunciation is grand or 1 lakh renunciation is grand? Here Ramji says, Natmana kamakarohi purushoyam anishvaraha itaschet itaraschainam kritantah parikarshati. Bharata, you have to understand that Purushaha na Anishvaraha. Human being is never at full freedom. Itaschetarat chainam kritantaha parikarshati. Something which is unseen, uncontrollable, unpredictable is taking that person's life. That's why everyone settles with small things. Everyone settles with lesser than what they want. You ask a child, when it studies second standard, third standard, fourth standard, every child will tell, I want to become doctor. I want to become engineer. As even the child grows and 8th standard, 9th standard comes, mathematics 0, physics, science and 10 marks or 20 marks, then it's this is not for me. Slowly he understands, 10th standard pass itself is big thing, and he settles with what? 10th standard pass, 12th standard pass. And as a young boy, he thinks that my would-be wife will be like this, nose should be like that, eyes should be like that, skin should be like that. As even he goes on, tries to find out his partner, life partner, then everybody asks, have you seen your face in the mirror? Have you seen your face in the mirror? When everybody asks, this fellow settles with what? Okay, this is this much only. Even though I can dream, my condition is what? I have to settle with lesser thing. That's what here Ramji says, human being is not absolutely free, even if he wants to be absolutely free. His life is unpredictable. He is bound by something. Call it as Daivam, as Vidhi, or Karmaphala, or Bhagavan. Whatever name you can give. But human being life is not completely free. How he understands? If he is an intelligent person, he understands by seeing somebody's life. If he is not intelligent enough, he jumps, breaks his legs and hands, and then finally understands, yes. Even though in young age I said that there is no God, there is no rebirth, there is no, unseen Shakti controlling my life. Slowly as even 35, 40 comes, even though he declares that I am Nastika, he hidingly goes to temples. Hidingly. So, Ramji says, one should understand a person's life is choiceless one. By his karma phala, this particular body, to a particular parentage, in a particular situation, in a particular society, everything is determined by, his birth is determined by karma phalam. Therefore, one should be sagacious in knowing the facts of life. What is the fact of life? That life has carry forward system. Punarjanma is a fact, it is not a belief. If Punarjanma is not there, human being can never answer the question, why I am suffering? There is no answer for this question. Why suffering? Who is responsible for my suffering? If I suffer, at least after 20 years, you can say 20 years you did this so and so mistake, therefore 21st year onwards you are suffering. I am suffering from the first day onwards. As a blind child, as a lame child, as a child for a what you call drunkard father. Why should I suffer? So, no answer for human suffering other than this particular answer that you earned it, you deserved it, you worked for it, you desired it. After desiring, after working for it, you have forgotten. It is like after ordering masala dosa, you left the hotel because you thought they are making late. But that hotel manager is such a grand person, he takes your address, comes to your door and knocks and hands over this parcel. Sir, masala dosa you have ordered, sir. No, I have not ordered. No, you ordered, sir. Here is a record. Here is a record. Pay. So when something knocks on your door, without your working, without your desiring, without your spending money and energy, when some situation knocks on your door, understand that it is Daivam. Kritantaha parikarshati. Kritanta drags an individual to this position, to that position. So the intelligent person will be what? Very careful. The intelligent person will be very careful with regard to his present life. Once he understands that there is a carry forward system, so he doesn't have any control over the past carry forward system, but he can control future carry forward system. Accept the past account balance and work for the future positive balance. That is the reason. If you renounce small things for the grand things in life, then your life is at safe hands. Nobody can deny of giving up. You have to give up. Every day you have to give up. Once you take a breathing inside, if you refuse to give up the breathing outside. Inhale. Ellaru inhale. Everybody inhale. Please inhale. You inhale. Don't give up. What will do? What will happen? You have to give up. Starting from the air you are inhaling, you have to give up. You take idli, you have to give up that idli in another form. You take this body, you have to give up. And according to medical science, body cells are going on dying. After some 12 years, 13 years, the person's body is completely new, they say. So, giving up is the scheme of the nature. Take, grow and give up. Enter, grow, enter in a school, get educated and give up. Suppose a child says, oh, my first standard miss is very nice. She used to give me a kiss and so loving. So I don't want to pass at all. I will be studying in first standard only, first standard only. If the child says, what parent and teacher will tell? No, my dear, you have to pass. Passing means what? Giving up first standard. Growing. So, if you renounce voluntarily, if you grow voluntarily for the sake of higher values and goals, then your growth will be called what? Promotion. Correct? It is called promotion. You promote yourself. On the other hand, if you refuse to give up and if you refuse to grow, what happens? What happens? Society will throw you out. The child refused to pass first standard. How many years they will keep in first standard? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Then afterwards, they will throw away him. Similarly, when things have to be given up, should be given up, if it is not given up, it will be taken away. When you give donation to ashrama, do you feel happy or unhappy? Do you feel happy or unhappy? You feel happy. You feel you are a privileged person. You can give something. But your bank balance is reduced. Okay? You know that your bank balance is reduced, 50,000, 1 lakh is reduced from your bank balance. But still, when you give donation to ashrama, to charity work, your heart is full of happiness. After giving donation, you go to house, there you found, suddenly one SMS comes to your mobile, you have given 2 lakh rupees to so and so, like that. Then you, no, I have not given. Then you find that somebody has taken your password, internet banking, they are swallowed. Now you see, what happened in both cases? Same thing, correct? In both cases, money has gone from your bank account. In one case, you are happy. In another case, you feel what? Very much sad. You feel that you are cheated. What is the difference in these two things? One gets your approval, another doesn't have your approval. One is done voluntarily, another is done forcibly. Therefore, Ramji says, if you don't give up, nature will force you to give up. Society will force you to give up. That force will create problem. That force will create problem. Because you don't want to give up. So like a child who wants to hold the toy. A child wants to hold the toy. Mother wants to take away that toy. What happens? There is a tug of war. Crying, shouting from the mother's side. Crying from the child's side. Same thing happens. When a person is little bit elderly and he is getting some physical disease, that 108 sound, that ambulance sound, dying, 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 dying. Along with the ambulance sound, this fellow also says, I won't come, I won't come, I won't come, I won't come, I won't come. Then Yamadharmaraja, along with his Dudas, I won't leave you, I won't leave you, dying, 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 I won't leave. Who wins according to the nature? According to the what we call Prarabdha. Sometime this fellow wins, sometime Yamadharmaraja wins. But final win is for whom? Kritantaha. For Yamadharmaraja, Antakaha, Kalantakaha, Kritantakaha. One who wins finally always. Who wins? A person who takes away everything from you, including your body. Before someone takes from you that your body, your life, your wealth, it is better you use it for good purpose, and in the process give up slowly, voluntarily, with maturity. If you say, no, 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 I want to hold that, I want to hold that, as much as possible I want to hold that. Dhritarashtra was like that. He never gave up his seat, you know. Dhridam Rashtram. The chair, he never gave up. Actually, the chair belonged to Pandu Maharaja. The chair belonged to Pandu Maharaja. Being a blind person by birth, he was not eligible for kingship at all. But out of respect, this Pandu Maharaja gave him the chair. Entire kingdom was possession of Pandu Maharaja only. This person was a caretaker king. When the Pandavas came, this caretaker king should have given this kingdom to Pandavas. But he refused. Somehow or the other he was holding on. Up to end he was king only. And finally also, when every child died, all the 101 children died, then also when Vidura comes and asks, how are you Anna? How are you elder brother? I am happy, he says. If this is the life of happiness, what is the life of suffering? Vidura asks, if your life is a happy life, then what is the meaning of suffering life? So that is called a holding on. You can hold on for some period only. At least that period I can enjoy, Swami. Allow me. Why you are asking me to give up, give up, give up? Ramji says, even while holding on, you are not happy. Giving up time, you are not happy, you are telling. Therefore, you want to hold on. What Ramji wants to say is, holding on time also you cannot be happy. How? When I hold on my possession, I am happy. When I hold on relationship, I am happy. When I enjoy things, sensory pleasures, I am happy. But Shastra never accepts this. Because as even while these things are enjoyed by a person, This enjoyment is not perfect enjoyment. It is smeared with fear and anxiety. Every enjoyment, every pleasure is smeared with fear and anxiety. One Mahatma gives some samples. Bhoge rogabhayam kule chudibhayam vitte nrupalad bhayam mane dainya bhayam bale ripubhayam rupe jaraya bhayam shastre vadi bhayam gune khalabhayam kaye kritantad bhayam sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvinrinam vairagyameva bhayam. Vairagyam eva abhayam. What is that judgment? Renunciation alone is the source of freedom and fearlessness. Renunciation alone is the source of happiness, freedom from insecurity. What about bhoga? Bhartrihari says, bhoge roga bhayam. As even you go on, eat muruku, chakli, laddu, Mysore pak, what happens? Doctor comes and says, be careful, cholesterol day is there, sugar day is there. Nowadays, modern generation has one day for one disease. So cholesterol day, heart day, like that one disease is there. Bhoge roga bhayam. What about kula? Grand kula. My kula is so grand. Chuti bhayam. You will be always afraid whether your son will marry a girl from Pakistan or Afghanistan. Kule chudi bhayam. Vitte nrupalad bhayam. Lot of money is there. Money is there means happiness, Swami. Security. Bhartrihari says, vitte nrupalad bhayam. If you have lot of money, you will be always afraid of income tax officers, politicians and other officials. Mane dainya bhayam. I am a respectable person. By my hard work, I got lot of respect and honor. If you are proud about it, Bhartrihari says, dainya bhayam. You will be always afraid. Which fellow will throw a shoe on you? Recently, one cartoon they have put. The one political leader, he was getting repeatedly beating. He asked, why me? Like that one question he asked. So in newspaper, on Hindu I think that cartoon, I liked that cartoon. Just I am sharing. 4 cartoons were there. They have put one part of the cartoon was one politician flying in flight. So you cannot reach them. You cannot reach and throw a stone or chapel to a flying politician. Another politician is standing very high pedestal. Then also your stone will not reach. Third politician is protected by security forces. Fourth politician is this particular person. So he was getting all the time beating like that. When you are moving with society, you have to prepare for everything. So, mane dainya bhayam. When somebody puts garland on you, there will be always fear. Which fellow will detonate a bomb? Which fellow will give you shoe? Which fellow will give you a slap? Mane dainya bhayam. Bale ripu bhayam. If you are strong person, WWE wala, all the time you will have fear. Who will knock off me? Next Olympic is coming. Who will knock off me? Who will knock off me? Bale ripu bhayam. Rupe jaraya bhayam. This idea everybody knows. My face is so beautiful. My physical appearance is so beautiful. What bhayam is there? Always it should be beautiful. So fair and lovely, fair and lovely, fair and lovely, go on, apply. As even you apply fair and lovely, more quickly, old, okay? It's all chemical. You see that your hairs are getting grey, you apply dye. So, rupe jaraya bhayam. Shastre vadi bhayam. Bhartrihari never left anyone. If you are a scholar, vadi bhayam. You don't know who will defeat you in arguments. In those days, scholarship was determined by capacity to argue. Who will defeat you in argument, you don't know. If you are a scholar, gune khala bhayam. Even if you are a man of values, you don't know when you will fall. That's why every person, a decent person, is afraid of getting bad name. He is afraid of getting bad name. Gune khala bhayam, kaye kritantat bhayam. With regard to this body, you get fear from death. Sarvam vastu bhayanvitam. You name any blessed thing in the creation, including your body. Bhartrihari says, I will name what type of fear and anxiety you will have. So, if you want to be free from fear and anxiety, only one way, give it up. Give it up what? How to give it up? Give it up with a purpose. Grow, and by growth, you give it up. You enter a train, travel for some distance, get down. If you refuse to get down, or if somebody wants you to stay in that train only, what you will tell? What you will tell? You will tell that, hey, very getting inside is to get out. In the process between getting in and getting out, I have traveled this much. Similarly, enter every situation. Enter as a brahmachari, come as a snataha. Enter as a brahmachari, come as a snataha. Snataha means a degree holder. One who has completed his education is called snataha. Then enter as a grahasthaha, come as a vanaprasthin. Enter as a vanaprasthin, come as a sannyasi. If you are little more intelligent, without entering grahastha and vanaprastha, directly enter into the sannyasa. Get away from this life of ignorance. So, renunciation is a must. That's why in our Vedic culture, there is no retirement plan at all. Only retirement plan they had, you know. What you know? Either go to forest and meditate and die, or take sannyasa, roam and die. Only two. If you are a married person and if you are afraid of being alone, you can go with your wife, that's all. So, giving up happened to be a natural thing. Therefore, it is better to give up for special and grand things. One who don't renounce voluntarily, then that person life will be a life of beggarliness. All the time he will have a wish list. All the time, even at the deathbed, he will tell, I want to see my grandchild to be married. I want to see my great-grandchildren to get school admission. So, some or the other, there will be a wish list that so far I have not done this, so far I have not done that. So, Ramji says, give up voluntarily by growing in maturity. Otherwise, the very life will teach you how to give up. Very life will teach you how to give up. Yathagaram dridastunam jirnam bhutva upasidati tatha avasidanti naraha jara mrityuvashangataha atyeti rajaniyatu sana pratinivartate yatyeva yamuna purnam samudram udakarnavam ahoratrani gachanti sarvesham प्राणिनामिह आयुंषि क्षपयन्ति आशु ग्रीष्मे jalam ivam shavaha. In general, Ramji points out how things are coming, existing and disappearing. As ripe fruits must inevitably fall from the tree, so a man who is born in this world should inevitably perish. Just as a building supported by strong pillars decays in time, similarly, the life of a person crumbles down and he becomes a victim of old age and death. The night, when it passes away, never returns. The Yamuna, which enters the Ganga, never comes back. Similarly, human life also gets exhausted. Days and nights pass over the heads of all creatures on earth and consume their lives as they go on. Everybody, as they celebrate date of birth, what does it mean? Celebration of date of birth means what? One more year is over. Swami, this is 51st birthday. Don't celebrate your birthday after 20 years. Okay? Up to 20 years you can celebrate your birthday. There is a reason and there is joy also. Up to that only you are growing. Afterwards what? Graph is coming back. Okay? For some period stable, then afterwards coming back. You cannot celebrate a thing which is decaying. 51st birthday means what? Graph has already come down. In 40 years itself, it started coming down. So, don't celebrate your birthday after 20 years. Every year you remember your birthday, you ask yourself, how many birthdays have gone? How many years? Without any purpose, how many years have gone? What for I have come here? What for I am living here? What should I do? Evening has come in my life. What I have to do hereafter at least? That should be the question. Ramji says, grieve for yourself. He is telling to Bharata, because Bharata was very much grieved to see Rama's pitiable condition that he has to live in forest. So he says, Bharata, grieve for yourself. Why should you grieve for me? Because I am living for a grand purpose. One should grieve for oneself and ask whether I have done for what purpose I have come here. If a person doesn't bother about this particular question, whether I have fulfilled my life, whether I have performed the duties which is given to me, if a person doesn't have answer, if he is all the time engaged in accumulation, his life is going to be a waste. Because whatever he has accumulated, he cannot use it, nor he can take it. Dhanani bhumau pashavascha goshte bharya grahadwari sakasmashani dehaha chitayam paraloka marge dharmanugo gacchati jiva ekaha. Along with every individual, only one thing is going to go. And what is that? His punya and papa. His dharma, adharma alone is going to go. Nothing is going to accompany him. Instead of increasing his positive account, dharma, and instead of becoming more and more a matured person, a person spends only in toys and balloons entire life. What life it is. Sahaiva mrityur vrijati. Bhagavan says, whether a person understands or not, mrityu follows him all the time. Death is all the time is there. Any time death can simply swallow. And in reality, death happens every day. So, what is there to celebrate in this temporary life? What is there to celebrate in this short span of life? If at all, if you want to celebrate anything, celebrate that you are growing. Celebrate that you are growing in maturity, that growing in conviction about the grandness of Satyam and values. Celebrate that you are going towards the renunciation more and more, and towards devotion more and more, and towards freedom more and more. Everything you add in your life becomes one more fetter. You add any blessed thing in your life. Without mobile, our society, our elders were very happy. We thought mobile will make us little more free. But what happened now? Freedom has gone. Anything you add, that doesn't mean that you should not add anything, but you should add everything in your life with the knowledge that it has a purpose. I should use it properly. Once the purpose is over, I should give it with a thanks note. With a thanks note. You are traveling in a bus and a telephone comes, you want to note down that number, so you ask a person pen. That person doesn't have belief that he will give back his pen. So what he does, he takes the pen cap and gives only that writing portion. So after writing, 1 minute or 2 minutes, after writing, you give back that pen to the giver. How you give back? What do you say? You show your teeth and say, he thanks. Correct? For using a small pen, that too for 2 minutes. Given by a person who never believed you. And Ramji asked, Bhagavan has given such a beautiful instrument called this body. Will you not give it back with a thanks? Suppose if you are taking that pen and you started knocking off, or throwing it out, what will the giver do? You have taken that pen to write, okay? So instead of giving back to him, suppose you throw that pen from the bus outside, what you will do? Hey, what you are doing? It is my pen, you will ask, na? So you will get angry. Similarly, nature has its own laws. So when Prarabdha gives you human body and Satsanga, Sadhu's guidance and Shastra, everything, if life is spent only in animalistic instincts and pleasures, Bhagavan said, so I have given beautiful Ferrari car, you don't know how to ride it. So better take this old Maruti 800. What is old Maruti 800? Human body is like Ferrari car, so beautiful it is. It can control entire creation, that much mind, that much intelligence. But that intelligence is used only for roti, kapata, makan. Roti, kapata, makan intelligence is there for even pigs and dogs and donkeys and fox. Why should it be given only for human being? Same roti, kapata, makan, ahara, nidra, bhayamaitunam cha samanyam etat pashubir naranam buddhirhitesham adhiko visheshaha buddhya vihina pashubis samana. Another version is there, dharmena hina pashubis samana. All are same. Without dharma and buddhi, what is the difference between us, the human being, and the animal? Therefore, Ramji says, follow dharma. Life is short. Instruments are very powerful instruments given to you. Don't try to misuse those instruments. Don't try to hold on to those instruments. Don't try to spend energy in bhoga and bhoga and bhoga. Try to use your life, time and energies and the entire physical and mental life for your growth. In course of time, slowly you will be qualified for higher spiritual knowledge. Even if you are not interested in bhoga, even if you are not interested in worldly success, even if you are not interested in going to heavens and other places, still you can follow dharma and satya, because there is another goal called spiritual goal called moksha or freedom. And that will be the fourth angle of the assertion satyameva jayate. Three angles. Worldly angle, in that worldly angle itself, personal life and social life, he argued. Then religious angle. Three angles we have seen. Fourth angle will be what? Fourth angle will be spiritual angle. This is for a person who says, neither I want any pleasure here or success or anything in the world, nor I want in other worlds. Do you have anything to say that I should follow Satyam? Ramji says, or Shastra says, yes. For you only Satyam should be with more intensity. Others can do this way, that way, they can manage, because your goal is very high goal. What is that goal? Moksha, freedom from samsara, freedom from birth and death cycle. And your goal is so high, therefore your intensity of following the value also must be so high. So from the spiritual angle also, the Satyavan eva jayati. Those details we will see in the next class. Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramabhadraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sad. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.